Welcome everybody to this new episode of the FDR podcast.
Ooh.
Episode 13.
Ooh. Spooky. Episode 13. Zing.
Whoa. Cool. Loads of things have happened this week. I was telling Daniel, I'm really excited about.
It was almost the perfect weekend for an Arsenal supporter. Almost. It was so freaking close, man. But it's okay. It's okay.
It was
still good. Still good.
Yeah, overall. And so we're recording on a Monday.
So Newcastle, West Ham, we don't know.
Newcastle, West Ham. So if it's a good match, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, if not,
we'll skip it.
You know what I mean? It's one of those. Don't get me wrong, two good teams, but overall it doesn't. At the moment, doesn't have a huge impact on the Premier League as a whole. So we'll move on.
Exactly. So let's get started with the first match, which is Leicester-Chelsea. I thought it was an overall good match, as in, Chelsea kind of struggled with Leicester, kind of. They still got 2 goals, and then it the 95th minute was a penalty, wasn't it?
It's one of those in the Premier League. Every team is a decent team. And I think Leicester show that. We'll talk about Southampton later on because they kind of show that man, they can be. But every team has proven themselves to be in the Prem. That's why they're there. Whether that be through the playoffs or in the Championship, they all deserve to be there. And Leicester, obviously, they beat Spurs. I love that. Obviously, they couldn't beat Arsenal. Shame. But Chelsea, the main thing I'd be saying is it looks like Chelsea are struggling to keep up the momentum. They're tiring out a bit.
I agree. They're still a good team. They're still fighting for that third place.
Oh, well, I'd say 4th, not 3rd.
I think that they can. So looking at what's happening right now, of course, with Man City. If Man City slips, as in drastically, they might fight for a third place.
I don't think you understand. Regardless of how long Man City slip for, they will still go on a run before the end of the season.
Will they?
100%.
Who knows?
It's just how long will they leave it? And at the moment, it's looking like they might let the title completely slip away. If it keeps up and they have a few more slips in the season, the title's gone, in my opinion, based off of the standards we've seen from Liverpool and the fact that Arsenal have got all their injuries kind of out of the way a bit.
We'll see what happens, but overall,
of course.
Yeah, Chelsea.
I mean, Man City could win every other match they play this entire season and just win the entire league all over again. It'll be 5 in a row, and nobody will care less about them losing 5 in a row. But enough of City, Chelsea. They're doing a really good job. It's just for me when watching this match, there was definitely moments in the game where Leicester should have scored. A better team would have.
There was that specific moment. Who was it that I don't remember what the player was?
I think it was Ndidi. Wilfred Ndidi.
Palmer literally was about to score and he just was in front of him.
Oh no! I'm talking about that's Madueke. I'm talking about Leicester almost scoring right before the first half. But I saw that and I had my head in my hands. I was like, no way, no way.
I was the same. I was like, what's happening here? And Madueke was just laughing his ass out. I was like, I would be.
I mean, they're winning. They're winning.
Yeah,
so
but
it's all
still,
right.
I would get really upset. If we were to play football together, which we do, and you do the same thing, I would literally punch you in the face.
But it's one of those. It's not deliberate.
It's not even competitive.
But it's not deliberate. Madueke just stood in front of him. He jumps to try and get out of the way of the ball, and he smacks it into his feet. So it's not even
it's a bit funny, but...
So it's
just, I'm very competitive, and you know that. If it was me.
But it's not Choupo-Moting, you know what I mean? That one where he went to go try and steal someone's goal for a tap-in and ended up saving this goal. It's not that level. It's just you know what I mean? He blocked it.
It's not Lukaku's level.
Not Lukaku in the Champions League final. Oopsie! He's still raging.
But yeah, I think Leicester is doing okay, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Leicester, I think they're probably going to get relegated, if I'm being honest.
Well, they're 16th at the moment. I mean, there's not very much of a difference. They're 10 points.
I mean, it's any of those teams can go down. And
I would put from Everton to Southampton, all these 6 teams could be relegated.
I mean, obviously West Ham are a game behind.
I wouldn't put West Ham just yet.
They're going to sack their manager and they'll be fine.
Yes.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing which could come from this match is if they get absolutely battered and slapped around silly.
Well, it's not in 10
they'll
minutes.
get sacked.
So
Yeah.
we just put it here and we'll watch it while we record the podcast, I guess. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, who are we giving the round of applause for this match? Because Fernandes got...
You know what? It's a very messy goal that he got. But I want to give Nicholas Jackson a round of applause.
Oh.
I don't feel like we've given him one yet, and he's really improved from last season. Maybe one, but I don't feel like enough to show that the difference he made from last season when I just was like, yeah, this guy is so washed. They wasted every penny they had. But he's proven himself as, don't get me wrong, when Chelsea eventually get back up to the levels which they were at, he's not going to be the starting striker for them. No chance. They'll buy a new one. But he's solidly the backup, and he would be a firm striker at all the mid-table, lower down teams, and he would be banking goals in. So he's the bench player who's reliable. You know what I mean? Like a good squad player.
I love it. The bench player is reliable.
It's true though.
Yeah,
and there's no shame in it.
Cool.
Especially when you're playing at a top club. So let's give him a clap.
Next up, we have Brighton Bournemouth. I thought it was a good performance for Brighton. I loved Mitoma's goal. It was really good. Really good goal.
It was, but lack of discipline from Brighton.
Well, was that an actual red card?
I mean, I've not seen the red personally.
You have not?
I've not seen it. Okay, well, we just saw some of the stuff, and obviously I hadn't seen the red. That's never a red. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's a second yellow. Like, not just a straight red, but it's not even a yellow. It's the other guy comes flying into him, and I'm sure...
He couldn't have done anything to avoid it. And that shows, again, poor judgment.
Really poor from the refs. But it's one of those that I hadn't even heard about it, really. And the main reason why is because it's two lower down teams. If this happened to a Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, everyone would hear about it. But they don't because it's a lower down team. But we have to stay consistent when it comes to teams like this, struggling. Because it's not fair, is it?
No.
And it's ridiculous because now he's going to miss one match at least.
Exactly. They still won, which, good on them. It's what position are they on now? They are fifth.
Yeah.
So
they're doing well.
Yeah, but still, I was talking to Pa, and he was like, "Oh, I remember when Brighton they were in League 2," and I was like, "Yeah, but you're like 80." Sorry,
That's
mate.
so mean. That's so mean.
But yeah, who are we giving the round of applause? I think
João Pedro.
Yeah,
that pass.
Was...
I'm sorry, João Pedro. I love him so much. I think he's just so good.
I had him on my fantasy football last year.
I haven't this year.
You have. It's because I'm not doing fantasy football this year. Otherwise, I would have bought him again.
I mean, I have just stopped doing anything with my fantasy team, and it's just in the mud. Like it just once like 3 or 4 people got injured, I was just like, I can't do anything here. I was like, yeah. I'll let whatever happens happen. Man.
But let's give João Pedro round of applause.
Next
up, Arsenal, Tottenham Forest. There you go.
Arsenal what?
Tottenham Forest.
What? Nottingham Forest.
Why did I say Tottenham Forest?
So before we started recording, when he picked like, okay, yeah, what are we going to cover? He said, oh yeah, Arsenal versus Tottenham, and I was like, no, it's Nottingham Forest. So it must be some sort of weird slip in your head.
Did I say that as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really tired. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't worry, Giorgio. We're all here for you.
It's been a long day.
It's okay, don't worry. But I love this match personally. Obviously, we flashes of Ødegaard just before the international break. And we could see how good he was after 6 weeks out.
He played a great match.
So now we've seen him. He's back fully. He had the week to rest. And look at what he did. Yeah, look at Saka.
Look at those passes that he was like there in the middle.
Well, it's not even that. It's the commentators were saying, and I couldn't agree with it more. Ødegaard, it's the way he uses his body. It's just so devious. Like, he knows where to put his body so the defenders just can't grab the ball off of him. Like, it's just such a nuisance. He's just so weird to play against and so frustrating. Like, I don't think there's anyone else who does stuff in a similar way to him. So it's really good. But, I mean, Bukayo Saka, that goal. I mean, it's one of those,
this guy's phenomenal.
Saka needed a rest. He got the rest, and now we're watching the levels. Saka's a player who can...
He's been cooking.
He can carry the team by himself for a few, like 3-4 weeks,
Yeah, no, I
Obviously,
agree.
he needs an Odegaard there, but he's so good.
He's phenomenal. Like,
Just the drifting across, bang!
There's nothing else we can say about him. He's like...
He's world class. He really is world class.
Every week, he's just down the right wing. There you go. Just going to do whatever.
I mean, it's why Arsenal plays so much football down the right rather than the left.
Yeah.
It's solely because Bukayo Saka's best on the right. That's the only reason. It's Bukayo Saka can play there. I mean, Martin Odegaard has a left foot. You know what I mean? Like, he can play on the left-hand side. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference to him. It's purely because Saka's there. And, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, the main thing, which I would have been maybe a bit worried about, would have been the support he would get. Because, obviously, Ben White, he's out for a few months now because he had knee surgery. Because we found out that since the start of last season, he had a knee injury and he's been playing with it.
With an injury. What a G.
What a G, A. And
Brexit
then
football, literally.
And then B... How good is he? To have a knee injury he needs a surgery for, and to have been playing with it for over a season. Wow.
Well, let's give him a round of applause
just for that. Just wow. I love Benny Blanco. But there was a couple of other goals in there for Arsenal. Thomas Partey.
I'm sorry. Every time that we speak about Partey, I'm like, I don't like the guy. And
I
then,
don't like him either.
And then he just scores bangers out of nowhere.
I don't mind.
Would you have thought that, like, when he touched the ball in that specific moment, he's going to shoot?
It's like a 20% chance. Because when he first came for Arsenal, and I got so frustrated with him right before the season when we first started challenging for the Prem, he would take these long shots and they'd be crap. It would literally just be like, okay, watch out, Satellite 5, a ball's coming your way. You know what I mean? He just sky it every time. And then I remember he was just like, he scored against Spurs, he scored against a few teams, just banging them. And I was like, okay, he can do it. And then last season, he just didn't do it at all.
Well, what did he do last season? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so, I agree with you. So it was one of those. It was rough. But then, obviously, hopefully he can carry on doing it. Because it was a really good goal, and it's really nice to have that option on the edge of someone who can just smack it. And especially coming from someone who isn't an out-and-out attacker. Because obviously Declan Rice is more of the box-to-box when he's in the midfield with Partey. So it means that it's someone who they might not necessarily be able to mark, who can just shoot and score a goal. Like, that's how Rodri scores so many, because he can place it well, and because he's coming from so deep.
But again, if he trains specifically for that, he could be a good asset for Arsenal, but at the moment,
I don't know. I think it's a bit 50-50 when he does it. But
yeah, it's not like he can. It's not like he can.
You know who we should train to do it?
Time.
Ricardo.
Yes.
I would love for him to be able to do that, because he would basically just be Gvaridol but Italian. I'm not complaining, man.
I'm not complaining. He's.
And then the last thing to note. Ethan Nwaneri. I spoke about him on this podcast.
I completely forgot that happened until now. Like, yesterday when I was planning, I'm like, oh, what am I going to say? I started looking at it, like, this kid is cooking. Like,
he's so good.
Honestly, like,
I've mentioned him every time he's played. And now I want to hear what you have to say, Giorgio, and how right I am. Please,
I'm not going to say how right you are, because I said the exact same thing. So this kid, if he keeps playing at the pace and the level that he's playing, he can easily get into first squad, like, starting. Give him like 1 year, 2 years.
It looks like he can be world class. I'm going to say it right now. It looks like he's got that potential. Not that he's going to live up to it.
Right. So every single player has got potential to become world class.
No.
Let me finish. It's all about dedication, right? Yes, you can have it in your blood, you can have it in your whatever you want to call it, but dedication and, focus in that discipline make a great player. So if he sticks with it, if he sticks with this performance, yes, he can become a world class player.
I agree that he can. But I disagree with the statement as a whole, saying that anybody can, because...
I'm not saying anybody. I'm just saying professional players.
No, but I'm saying professional players can't. Like, when you look at a professional player, some of them, you see him just turn up onto the scene, you're there like, all right, he's a good utility player. You know what I mean? I've seen that loads with players who you're like, you know, they can come and they can do a job.
But do you know if they stick with it? Do you know if there's enough discipline for all these players that you have seen and they're just...
But, I mean, of course not. Nobody can know that. But I mean, when you look at the examples of these like unwavering, disciplined people, like a Cristiano Ronaldo, right? You look at a Cristiano Ronaldo, right? He was gifted from birth. He was always going to be a world-class player. He pushed the boundaries by becoming one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but he wasn't as gifted as Lionel Messi.
Oh, of course not. But Lionel Messi is the greatest player of all time. And there's a huge gap between Ronaldo and Messi, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But that doesn't mean Messi didn't work hard. Have you heard the interview with David Beckham recently? He spoke about how Messi turns up at 5 a.m. before the people even unlock the doors.
A couple of episodes ago, actually.
Oh, my bad. But it's one of those.
I've got a Messi shirt underneath my top, but I'm just cold. So
any top player has to be able to work hard. Yes, that's a prerequisite for being a top player, but that doesn't mean any professional footballer who just works at that level can achieve it. I disagree. Because, I mean, I've seen players come through the Arsenal Academy, your Joe Willocks, your Reece Nelson even, and, like, you know what I mean? You see players and you just know, yeah, he's a decent player, he's a good player. Like, I like Reece Nelson, I like Joe Willock, I like these players. Yeah, I do. But you can just tell they're not going to be world-class. They never will, and then they just can't be because they've not got that little thing about him. But that's where Ethan Nwaneri is different. He reminds me so much of like a Jack Wilshere. Like, obviously he's different because he's...
That's a bigger statement, though.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's different. Oh, okay.
But, I mean, like, I watch him, and we've seen it in other matches too, right? He comes on, and he just dribbles past like a couple of people. Did you see what he did to Murillo? Murillo's a good centre-back, and he just made him look like a statue. Look like Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
Was it the first time that he actually scored with Arsenal? He scored like after 2 minutes or something like that. I might trip in.
No, it's not his first time scoring for Arsenal. He scored in the League Cup for us and stuff, but it's first goal in the Prem.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
First goal in the Prem, yeah. Which it was one of those. The first attempt was really good, and it shows that he's able to do it. Obviously, we saw it a little bit before the break. Because he did take like a couple shots against Chelsea, stuff like that. But it's games like this where he needs to be coming on and scoring a goal and showing I've got that little bit about me.
Yeah, and I think if oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the Arteta. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but today is not. It's not my day.
Today is gonna be the day.
But yeah, if Arteta gives him a bit of confidence, of trust, he can deliver. The guy can deliver.
It's one of those. It's not even this confidence and trust, really. I think with Nwaneri, I would have really liked to see him play over maybe a Mikel Merino on that left centre mid role.
Yeah, I don't
depending on who we're playing.
I don't really like Marino. It's just I don't know.
He played a lot better in this match now that Erdegaard's there, and you can see why they brought him in. It's clearly because of his time at Real Sociedad. Because at Real Sociedad, they both played together, so it's like, okay, I know they have that link-up play, so they know where each other are, so you already have a link in the midfield. However...
Oh, look at that goal!
Sorry, we've got the Newcastle-West Ham match on in the background. Alexander Isak.
Oh, is it offside?
I believe it's offside.
It's offside, never mind. But look, the guy was chipping it in.
He did a great job. Oh, it's close. Now he's off. Definitely. Because when you look at the angle which we're looking at it from, that already skews it like this way.
Look at that.
He did well. Yeah, he's clearly off, yeah. But it's one of those. I mean, I would really like to see Nwaneri play in the starting 11 and just see what he does against a lower team. And I really think he can turn up and perform really well. I understand because we're in a title race. You can't hand out positions to anybody. You can't hand it to people. But I think he's showing that he deserves it more and more each week.
Look at Calafiori. He played how many matches? 3-4 before he actually was put in the first starting 11. And he actually had a bit more experience than Nwaneri.
Oh, of course. he had loads more. And obviously he's a money signing. He's one of our marquee signings of the summer. So it's like you kind of almost have to put him in at some point because if not, people are going to be asking questions.
He got injured and so now he's not.
He's back.
Yeah. he was injured.
Yeah.
And so now he's back and
he's doing well. I really do like Calafiori.
Me too.
I know you do.
Me too.
It's just with this squad, I'm really happy that we've got that solid starting 11 back now.
Yeah.
So we should be doing well. And the most important thing in this match was because Martin Odegaard is back, it's how we played. It wasn't just the result. It was, did we play well? Did we control possession? Did we have this? Did we have that? And we did. So that's why I'm really happy about this match. Yeah, it's because we're playing attractive football again, and that means we're on the front foot, which means we're going to have more of a chance to win matches.
You might say, like, well, they've been playing against, Forest, and, it's not a good team.
Forest were third.
Forest
are a good team. They
really good.
They beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
So
I'm agreeing with you.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, for the people who doubt it, that would be my retort also.
Yeah. Shut up!
It's one of those. They did really well, and I think my man of the match. Who should it be? No, you know what? We should give him a clap, even though he hardly played in the match, and we should probably give it to like an Odegaard or someone.
If you're watching this podcast,
I'll be surprised, but I love you, man. No, you're 17. I'll take it back.
This is for you. I mean, he's younger than us. What are we doing with our life?
This. Apparently this. Man, I wish I was gifted like him.
Next match, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace back on track?
No. It's a draw.
It's a draw. And
it's one of those, don't get me wrong.
It can build confidence, like playing against Aston Villa. Aston Villa's been a great team so far in this past couple of years. Drawing against them out, like not at home, away.
Don't get me wrong. On paper, you look at that and you think, oh, that's good. But look at Crystal Palace. It's all just draws. They need to win. No,
I know. It's just, sometimes they need time to rebuild and to, stay afloat. That's what they're trying to do this season. Like, they're not going to get mid-table, I don't think. So.
Oh, there's no chance they're going to be mid-table. They're going to obviously be fighting, but their record at the moment is obviously they only beat Spurs in the league, which is hilarious, and I love that. Which don't worry, we'll get round to Spurs later because I have some mocking to do. But they've got 5 draws and 6 losses.
Oopsie daisy.
That's my point, though. It's like you can't have they play well in every draw I see, even in most of the losses, and it's very close.
Yeah.
But they have to make a difference there. Like, what's it called? Obviously, against... need to unlock it.
Against who?
Against Villa, we saw what happened, obviously, and they were 2-0, where they were 2-1 up at half-time, and then 77th minute, Barkley scores, and he changes it, right? That's game management again. Is they need to be able to just say, okay, if we're going to just sit 11 men behind the ball, we have to do it well here. And if we're not going to do that, we still have to be able to defend well. And it's just they can't do it.
West Ham just scored, by the way.
Souček from a corner. Well done, West Ham. Seems like perhaps Lopetegui could be in a job a little bit longer.
Ooh.
Will he see Pep at the job centre? All jokes. But
did you just say Pep?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Like, he just renewed his contract.
It's all the memes. I've not seen all the memes.
Yeah, I've seen all the memes. But I don't know what else to say about this match because Aston Villa, they didn't even have Champions League this week.
They didn't, and it's been a bit poor. But see, the thing is, I'm looking at who to give man of the match to, and
nobody.
I don't want to give it to a Palace player solely from the reason I think I'm tired of them not seeing out a match, and they need to just learn how to play good football.
Then let's not give it to anybody. Let's stay silent for 3 seconds.
No, why not give it to... I'm going to say Ross Barkley. He scored the goal to make it 2-2. He came on. He was a bit clutch for him and everything, so I'm happy to give it to him.
Sure. It was a boring
Very
match.
Unenthusiastic.
Yeah.
From both of us, by the way. It wasn't just...
Yeah.
Oh, my word. That was a great little dribble by Somerville.
Oh.
I feel like we're doing a watch-along now.
Oh, my gosh. If he scored that, can you imagine?
Mate,
Sorry, guys.
It's Mikel Antonio.
I will put like elevator music while we watch this.
We can move on. Like they're not even in the
No,
box.
no,
They're back to the halfway line. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, are we just watching the match instead now?
I mean, Wolves Fulham. I want to give a round of applause before we start to Gary O'Neill.
I freaking love Gary O'Neill every episode.
For the new viewers, if you haven't watched any of other ones of our videos, every single week we speak about Gary O'Neill. We Daniel speaks about Gary O'Neill. Oh, we're a team.
I speak about Gary O'Neill. My stocks went into Gary O'Neill since day one. If this was it, this is like me investing in Bitcoin.
And you would have invested in Gary O'Neill.
I have invested in Gary O'Neill, and it's turning around, baby. It's turning around. Give me my money.
It's ramping up.
Better bring me my money. But
they won 4-1 away.
Fulham are a good team. I'm not being funny.
Mid-table team.
Huh? They looked to be like they were going to be challenging for Europe, didn't they, this season?
Yeah. I'm just saying right now they look like mid-table team. They're 10th.
Yeah, but look at how close they are to those European positions. If they won this match, they would have been 21 points. They would have been 6th above Tottenham. So that's my point. It's Fulham are a good team. They're a good team. And Wolves come in as the underdogs. Oh, they're at the cottage. They're at the cottage. They smelt blood. That a bit of ASMR for you guys. But it was great. And now Wolves outside of the relegation zone on goal difference, but we don't care. We don't care.
Out of relegation zone. We are all happy. You know what? I'll wear a Wolves top. I should have worn a Wolves top today. Look at me.
I'm not going to get a Wolves top or anything.
I'll get you one.
I don't want it. I don't want it. If Gary O'Neill was a player, I'd take it. But
oh, come on.
if it's Gary O'Neill memorabilia,
top that you wore once in a while.
No. I'd only do that.
I like football tops, so I will wear any football top except Juventus or AC Milan. Or
should we make a bet for you to wear an AC Milan top? Because I already have one.
No.
So just for an episode, a Maldini shirt.
No, I'll never do that.
They're just our cousin.
If you were.
No, I knew where this was going. I was hoping it wouldn't turn on me.
I give you the option: Chelsea or Tottenham.
I'd much rather a Tottenham shirt than not Tottenham. Chelsea, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I got caught ahead of myself. My sentence, which I was going to say, was I'd much rather wear a Chelsea shirt than a Tottenham shirt. But my brain decided to just like fast forward like half the sentence.
That's fine. So
but
if
no, I wouldn't wear a Chelsea shirt either, though. I wouldn't be caught dead in it. No chance. Never.
Then I'll never wear an AC Milan top.
But they're our cousin.
Yeah, cool.
I never say that about any of the other London clubs. Not even about West Ham.
Yeah, but I despise Juventus. Like,
yeah, it's not Juventus. I'm just saying AC Milan.
Yeah, cool. They're the cousins, but I'll never wear a shirt.
It's alright. It's just I'm trying to wind him up a little bit. But
yeah, I mean,
Cunha
was
again. He's just on fire, man.
My opinion is that he should move away from Wolves.
No,
next season. Yeah. Just go to Fulham.
No, because this ruins the Prem. I'm sorry.
Next season, not this season.
I've had enough of this because they still won't have any money to spend in the summer, will they? Who are they going to sign instead?
What?
They're going to get relegated.
So
My point is, I want every team in the Prem to have a good player like Cunha, like Emile Smith-Rowe, like Ødegaard, like Rodri, like Mo Salah. You know what I mean?
Rodri's injured now.
I know, but they've still got freaking Haaland, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne.
But they're doing Jack.
We're not talking about them yet. But my point is, gone are the days where every Premier League team had a good player. So now, when we have a player who's playing well at a team like Wolves, I want him to stay there because
Eventually, he will have to go somewhere else. Like, he can't stay to Wolves all the
Why do you think this Premier League season's better than the rest? The past 3 or 4, it's been better than. Let's be real.
Mean, last season was quite good as well.
It's been better than the past 3 or 4.
It's just because everybody's challenging, but like...
It's because it's competitive, and it's because players like Cunha are at Wolves. That's the reason why the Premier League's great, is that every team has good players. Not just all the top boys are just there like, I'm just going to drop some money on you and take it. This is not the Bundesliga. That's what
Chelsea has done this season anyway. So.
They've not bought people from the Prem, so we're okay.
No, they're not bought people
apart from Jadon Sancho and Pedro Neto. But Pedro Neto at Wolves got injured every other week, so are they really missing him?
Whoopsie.
Probably a bit, but not too much. Probably the head physios, they're like, I miss my buddy, but...
Did he not stop the match?
No, it was coming together. But are you not going to carry on? I thought you were
Sorry,
going to say
I
something.
just got carried on with that. No,
Giorgio distracted. Zero professionalism.
I got distracted for a second. Sorry, guys. I'll keep this in the
Disgusting
video as well.
Disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, Cunha, great player, great performance, and I love the kit.
The purple.
I
like it. I do like it too.
Sorry, we never talk about kits. We never talk about.
I do like the purple.
I think it's a great kit. Like, it's just different. I like kits.
See, I think that purple stands the test of time. Whereas the Arsenal third kit with the like teal and lilac.
I thought you were talking about the
latest one. No, not that one. I hate it.
But
that one feels like a summertime shirt, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's not summertime.
That's what I'm saying. So it just doesn't feel like vibes at the moment. Yeah. It was just there like, okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, we should probably give the round of applause to
Cunha. Of course. And still, other players scoring and getting on the sheet too is very important, because if you just have one player carrying the team so much, if there's injuries or anything like that, or he just has an off match, you're struggling. So this is really good because it builds up the confidence of some of the other players in the team. So that's really good too. But going away to Craven Cottage and getting a dub like that is no easy task.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal last season, didn't we lose there? I think lose or draw or something like that. We dropped points regardless, so really big well done to them. So props.
And now, the moment that you were all waiting for, that I was waiting for.
Papi.
Tottenham. No, actually, it's Man City, Tottenham. This game was so good.
It was phenomenal.
It's not because Man City won, because it was actually a good match. Maddison scoring 2 goals
on his birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm not going to wish him happy birthday, but...
Yeah, he's a good man. Come on.
He's a little rat, but...
He's not.
Yes.
He's not.
He's a Spurs player, so he's a rat. But, hey, thank you very much. I'll take it. Thank you for giving me a present on your birthday. Watching this match, I mean, there's a few things which Pep did differently on a tactical level, but we're not here to talk about tactics. We're here to talk about what happened and our opinions on it. What
happened is that Man City were crap. Well, no stability in the team. They were just
leadership
all over the place. What was it? The first goal or the second goal? It was the one what we called.
Both, all of them. All of them.
Yeah,
it was
was
like
one in
it was the first one where there was the runner from the midfield because James Maddison just ran through for the through ball from Kulusevski. Yeah. Really poor. Gundogan just watched him run off of him.
Exactly, like he literally was there and he turned around and Maddison was behind him. I'm like, follow the man, just keep going, and he just stood there. I mean, doing nothing, and that is lacking in Man City right now. That what you said, like leadership and accountability for your choices. They just like, oh, Rodgers not here, we will do whatever we want.
My question to you is: was it a mistake to bring Gundogan back based off of his performances so far?
No, it's not a mistake to be able to bring him back. It's just everything is falling apart for some reason. Like, there's the quality in each of the players, right? Of course, it's Man City. These players are good. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. It's just...
Do you think it's due to an aging squad?
Probably Pep is just getting a bit disheartened.
Do you think it's an aging squad?
Not yet.
They've got a very high age. Most of their players are in their 30s and stuff.
Yeah, but...
Walker in his 30s. Diaz, like 29.
I can say the same about Liverpool.
Stone's getting older.
I can say the same about Liverpool.
They've got Trent, who's not in his 30s anywhere near it. You've got what's it called, McAllister, who looks older than he actually is. You've got Soboslai, who's not very old. You've got Gravenberch, who isn't very old. You've got Diaz, who isn't very old. Like, you know what I mean? You've got a lot of players hitting their prime.
Here, right, but it's not because they play. They won everything last season.
No, they didn't. They didn't win the Champions League. They didn't win the FA.
Oh,
they won
2 years ago. Sorry,
they won the FA Cup, I think.
2 years ago. No.
Yeah, they won the double.
Or was it Man United?
No, Man United won it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking because the year before that, they obviously beat Man United in the final, but in this one, Man United won. But
Man United won
all they won was the Prem.
So 2 years ago, it was the exact same squad.
Almost.
Who was different? Rodri was there.
Gvardiol wasn't there.
Guardiola wasn't there.
Huh? Gvardiol wasn't there. Savinho wasn't there. Did they still have Mahrez?
I think so.
I'm not sure, but they might have still had Mahrez. Obviously, Phil Foden was fit from the start of the season. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't out injured.
So overall, I don't know. I don't know. There's something wrong, and I can't tell if it's Pep. I can't tell if they're getting disheartened because,
I'll tell you what I think part of it is. Part of it, in my opinion, and I've said this, and I've said it as a bit of a rant at times, teams were too scared to try and play against Man City. I saw it, and it was the first season
that's
when...
an interesting point, but elaborate.
It was the first season when Arsenal were challenging for the Prem. We'd played against Villa. We lost against them both times, right? Because Villa, they're just one of our bogey teams, right? Played against Villa, and we're like, oh, for goodness sake, man, we lost against them. Their next match is against City. They first teamed against us, and then against City, they completely second team just to rest their players.
Yeah.
So teams just rest and they're just like, realistically, we can get rolled over here. We can focus on other things instead. Or, you know what, we're going to probably lose here. Let's just settle for a point or something like that. And it's a poor mentality. But now, because teams, they can smell blood when it gets to this level, which it is. So they're looking at it and they go, we can get 3. Let's try and get 3. And this is what's happening. With Spurs coming up here, obviously, this is the most Spursy thing you can imagine. Because A, it's Man City's bogey team. And B, Spurs... lost against Ipswich Town.
Losing against Crystal Palace and then winning against Man City. It's just like...
It was Ipswich they lost to, wasn't it? Or was it Crystal Palace?
Well,
Who did Ipswich play before the break?
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm tripping balls, man. Ignore me. Yeah, it was Ipswich. I don't know why. No, it was Ipswich.
Yeah, but they lost against Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal Palace earlier. Yeah. But it's one of those... Because I was talking about the most recent loss.
Okay.
Because in the Prem, they'd literally just lost to what's called Ipswich Town, and then the next match, which is like a week later, they then beat Man City 4-0. How does that work?
I think it's hilarious, but it's very entertaining. It just it was like
it sums
honest,
up Tottenham
really,
for me.
really good football. Like it was amazing football, and Pedro Porro scoring out of nowhere.
Nah, Pedro Porro is by no means the highlight of that match for me.
No,
and it's not James Maddison either.
It's just like something that came out of nowhere from the defense. It just came as like, oh yeah, I'll just tap this in. It's like, oh.
No, but he always flies up, and that's a negative in my opinion a lot of the time because he gets caught up too high, and I'm sure Spurs fans would probably agree with me on that one. But my player for this match, Dejan Kulusevski.
Yeah, he was.
Wow. Yeah, some of those balls he was putting in and everything, he was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
So good. And I can't remember who I was speaking to, but it's somebody at work. I was talking to them about it, and they looked at the highlights and everything. They're like, "Wow, where did they get him from? He looks amazing and everything." And I'm like, if he was week in, week out doing this, yeah, he'd be gone in a heartbeat. He'd be off to Madrid. You know what I mean? He'd be off to a big club. But this is the thing with Spurs. They can't do it week in, week out. And that's where my issue rises from. Because it's not like, okay, this is the Spurs we see week in, week out. Because if this was the Spurs we see week in, week out...
They will probably win the league. But they're Tottenham.
No.
I just said, but they're Tottenham.
No. But I mean, like, this performance isn't like a league-winning performance. This is against a very much so struggling Man City. And at the start of the match, before Tottenham scored that first goal, City were dominating them. But it's just, City felt like a wounded dog after that first goal. They were just like, you know what I mean, whimpering, like walking away. It's true, though. That's how they were. So, don't get me wrong. If Spurs were like this, they would be top 4 this season, 100%. If they could perform like that week in, week out,
but they probably won't.
But they won't. They've proven that they won't, and they can't. So it's one of those. As an Arsenal fan, hey, I'll take it. I'm very happy about this. But as a Spurs fan, enjoy the moment. But This needs to be the demand from your players. Settling for less is what makes you guys what you are. You need to settle for nothing but the best. And that's what Ange's trying to help out with. But I feel realistically, if after that Brighton match, you guys lost a couple more, I feel like Ange would have lost his head and he would be gone because he would have talked out about Daniel Levy, about the players, like Antonio Conte did. So you guys, you've got to understand.
What a dream, Antonio Conte.
You've got to hold yourself up to these standards. If Arsenal are clear with the league and look like we're going to win, and you guys are up against Man City again, you can't be wishing Man City wins because Ange's going to get sick and tired of that because you've got a manager there who I don't think is a great manager. I think he can maybe win you a League Cup or maybe an FA Cup, but for you guys, you just need to take whatever you can.
Yeah.
You just need it. You just need something. And he's building your squad to be better and building, exactly. You need that mentality of we need to just win every single match. And that's the big thing for me. But Man City, your leaders need to step up massively now because you've lost 5 in a row. Not like with draws. This is 5 losses in a row. You're up against Liverpool next weekend.
Oh, they're going to lose.
They could draw. They could draw or win the match. That's the thing with Man City.
And again, if they win, it'll be good either way.
No, I don't want them to win. Because as I mentioned in the last podcast episode, for me, if you finish above Man City, you've got a 90% chance of winning the league. You do.
Yeah, but
so I would much rather.
Right now, you need to look at both Liverpool and Man City as it stands.
No,
right
but
now.
if we're going to prioritise, obviously I prefer a draw. I'd prefer a draw, but I'm going to prioritise Liverpool winning over Man City.
Okay, first.
Because I'm assuming, and this is because the standards which we've set, I'm assuming Arsenal wins. Of course.
Oh, of course. Sorry, guys, I'm tired. But who are we giving the round of applause? You said
Dejan Kulusevski has to be. And I don't really applaud the Tottenham players, but after that performance, I've got to. I have to.
I want to applaud Maddison. So you applaud Kulusevski?
No.
Sorry, it's my opinion. Okay, no. Don't touch my opinion.
I'm not trying to touch your opinion, but I'm saying, realistically, was Kulusevski the best player on that pitch?
He probably was, but
yeah,
I like Maddison,
so I feel
like I want to applaud him.
I feel
like
it
was his birthday, and I want to congratulate him for a great performance.
Let me talk.
No.
I'm going to suggest something. How about we clap for Dejan Kulusevski, and then after that, you can give a separate clap for James Maddison.
No, you applaud for Kulusevski and applaud for Maddison.
Okay, I'll let you clap first for Maddison. I want to do it separately. Well done, Dejan Kulusevski.
What a knob. Anyway, let's look at the next really interesting match, Liverpool-Southampton. Oh my god.
I was believing.
Oh my god.
I was believing.
Oh.
It was like at the end of Shrek 2. Was it Shrek 2? And now I'm a believer. No, it's Shrek 1, isn't it?
1.
Yeah. I was a believer. Let's hope that kills you sometimes.
That's a great quote though, like Cody Shrek 1. It's great. Yeah, honestly, I was just like, oh, please let it be. But yeah, that at last. Even a draw would have been amazing for Southampton.
Yeah, even a draw would have been good for Southampton.
As well as for the whole league, but yeah.
I mean, this was the match which I think I might have said it on the podcast. I'm not sure. I talk about football a lot. This isn't just a podcast. It's just in life in general. 90% of what I say is just football. But this is one of the matches which I was thinking Liverpool could slip up in because they've been playing against such big opponents and they're still going to play against big opponents in Man City next week. So it's like, if you're facing non-stop huge teams, sometimes it's difficult to get up for the little guy. You know what I mean?
But still, they have proven that they can do it. Like, they had such a big comeback. And honestly, I mean, all the goals not all the goals, the first 2 goals that Liverpool scored, it was the keeper's fault. The second one was like, what the hell? What the hell?
In my opinion, this is what I'll say about it. Liverpool are very lucky that they played, deservingly so, bottom of the league, Southampton. I think if they even played against a Wolves would have beaten them. That's my opinion, because I just look at it and I think, with where Southampton are, just in general, they really do struggle.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, for me, looking at it, they're just playing really well.
What, Liverpool?
Yeah, not Southampton. Liverpool.
Well, Liverpool are playing really well in general, yes, 1,000,000%. But in this match, they did take the foot off the gas massively. And I think if they played against even a Fulham, but like you know what I mean, like just a team who's just a bit better than Southampton, I think the other team would have got it over the line. Because Southampton, they've shown how crap they are.
But do you think that then, by the same principle, could they lose against Man City next week?
Yeah. Liverpool could.
But Man City's playing crap at the moment.
Don't get me wrong, Liverpool are firm favourites, but my point is it's easy to get up for the big guys, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing with viewership. What matches are people watching? People are watching the Tottenham City match. They're watching the big games more than they're watching Southampton v Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to get up for it. You know what I mean? Like, to put it into more crude terms, if you're pulling 10 out of 10s week in, week out, and then you're like, oh, you know what? Today I'm going at home with a 3. You know what I mean? It's a bit difficult.
Where did that come from?
It's difficult. It's true. It's a true analogy for you. It just makes it harder.
That is life for you.
It makes it harder. You know what I mean? Like, because you're like, oh, I'm used to this. It's so much easier to like perform well in that scenario. It's true though. You get sloppy, and when you do that, it can lead to failure. And I think well done to Liverpool for getting through that. However, we've still got to see what happens because
but again,
it's a draining period they're going through after facing in so many difficult matches. It's very easy to just be like, mate, I am knackered.
Yeah.
Mentally, not just physically.
So who are we giving the round of applause for this match? I think it's Salah.
It has to be. Yeah. I don't want to because I don't know. Salah just winds me up a bit, but he's such a good footballer. He's such a good footballer. I've got it. Ooh, zing!
What was that a zing?
Because we did it at the same time and stopped at the same time.
Oh wow!
I keep on noticing that we're not doing it at the same time at all.
It's alright. We don't have to. Anyway,
no, it's cool
Ipswich Man United. I really thought that Man United, with new management, they will just rise from the ashes like a phoenix and like come to this majestic against Ipswich as well, like a relegation zone team. Like, oh, we're gonna, I don't know.
So you're underestimating both Ipswich and
overestimated.
You're underestimating how bad the Man United players are, and you're underestimating how good Ipswich Town are, especially at home. They played Liverpool first game of the season, and it was close. You know what I mean? Every match they play at home. Yeah, but let's be real. It was a lot closer than a 3-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, did you know what I've noticed actually? That every time that Ed Sheeran is at the stadium,
they do well. That's why he did well. They did well against Liverpool in the first half. Then when he went, they started playing poorly. But for me, I think a lot of Man United fans, and this feels really satisfying, because Man United fans are so deluded. They come in and they expect things, and they think, we deserve this, we deserve that. You deserve nothing in football. You have to earn it. That's how it is. It's a meritocracy, and for them,
that's a big word for you. Meritocracy.
I always come out with big words on this podcast.
Look at this brain. Did you study today?
I didn't study at all. I'm just a supercomputer.
Did you say supercomputer?
I know what I said.
Wow, your brain. Look, I can see your head expanding.
No, but Ruben Amorim, he's came in and he's proven himself to be at the very least a decent manager because he's done it in Portugal, right? Some people say he's a proven manager. No, he beat Man City on a difficult spell, right? And that's one of the big reasons why Man United fans are like, oh my word, with him. Apart from that, he's done well in Portugal, right? Darwin Núñez did well in Portugal. Let's not fanny about it.
Everybody does well in Portugal.
It's not anyone. It's just it's not necessarily
compared to England or any other.
Yeah, it's not necessarily an indicator of it transferring, is what I'd say. But we've seen a lot of good players come over. Ronaldo came over from Portugal. You know what I mean? Which everyone uses every single time, but.
But even if it's a cliche example, it's a true example.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's with Ruben Amorim, with most managers when they first come in, you've got to understand it takes a while for them to adapt to that style of play. With Ruben Amorim,
Mourinho came from Portugal. Sorry.
Yeah, but with Ruben Amorim, it's even different because he's playing with a completely different formation, not just like the same
and
formation, different style of play.
One of the commentators was saying like that even though they drew against Ipswich, there is still there's a bit more movement, a bit more understanding of the team, and again, give him a bit more time, I guess.
I love it though. Ruben Amorim before that match and after that match, it's so funny. Before the match, he's like, yeah, like we'll do well. I really feel like I'm the chosen one here and everything. After the match, he was like, oh, it's just the decision making. I don't understand how they can't do it. No, fully. He was just like, realistically, I could have ruined my career here. And oh my word, Newcastle had a sitter and they just missed it. Anthony Gordon in the box. Nothing, and then Joe Willock tried the volley and hit it straight at the first man. Poor. But we'll carry on about the Ipswich match. Ipswich did really well though. Did you see the Amari Hutchinson goal?
Yeah.
I don't want to clap him at all because he's a little snake. I've said this every podcast episode. For those who don't watch, Amari Hutchinson was an Arsenal academy player. He left to join the Chelsea academy, and I haven't forgiven him for it to this day, and I never will.
But he still scored a banging goal.
I couldn't care less. I want him gone.
So yeah, when Rashford scored the second minute, I was like, yes, they're back. Like
I saw that and I was really shocked.
I really believed it. Like, and then after that, nothing, complete void. And I was watching with Pa again, and he was just like, "This is the most boring match I've ever watched in my life." I was like, "Mate,
they gassed out too soon."
Yeah. He was like, I prefer to watch the snookers now.
And it's one of those, it's in the first minute, because when you look at Ipswich Town, right, the question would have been, is Amorim going to, off the bat, switch to a back five with wing backs? Well, a back three with two wing backs. It's basically a back five, guys, come on. Is he going to do that? Or is he going to just play the 4-3-3 system and just try and influence the style of play first and then switch it?
Who knows?
After the season? But nobody knew. But in that first match, he clearly switched it to the back five. And it was that run for Amad Diallo, which is what threw them off so much. It was that run which he did from deep because he was playing as wing back. And that's how they got it. That's the simplicity of it, in my opinion. So it was okay. They caught him off guard with that. Fair play. And then Ipswich Town shook it off very well because it's super easy, which in the first couple of minutes when you concede, especially when you're a team like Ipswich Town, you're up against Man United and everyone overhypes Man United, which is why I love it when they don't do well. It's true that they overhype it. Everyone was talking about Ruben Amorim as the second coming of Jesus, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh wow, this guy's the next Sir Alex Ferguson. He's going to turn around everything at Man United.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but they always do that. Well, like anybody
100%.
that comes to Man United, like, yes, finally, we got this guy that is going to be good. And I mean,
but that's my point though. It makes me want the person not to succeed even more. Like,
you're such a rat.
It's true though. When people get gobby about somebody for no reason, I'm like, I'm not being funny, mate. Just shut up. It's like with Ten Hag. Nothing made me want Ten Hag to fail more than when I was speaking to a Man United fan about Ten Hag, and he said he thought Ten Hag was better than Zinedine Zidane as a manager, and I was like,
what?
Yes, and I was like,
in what universe?
His own brain, apparently, because he was like, nah, but he's won trophies and everything, and yeah,
he said this Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, and when I pointed out the fact, the person was like, I think I would prefer Ten Hag because I asked, who would you rather have?
He won the treble. Like,
did Zizou win treble?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he just won 3 Champions Leagues in a row.
He won the treble.
Just by the way, guys. But Zizou is like one of the greatest managers. It wasn't a goal, he missed. But Zinedine Zidane is a phenomenal manager, and it made me hate Ten Hag even more. But now Ten Hag's at Job Centre, it doesn't matter. And I just look at it and I think, Ruben Amorim, how long will he last? Immediately, that's what I'm thinking. The fans were chanting his name straight away.
I'd give him a month, and then what?
You're going to leave him a month until he gets sacked?
No.
I'm saying, how long did he last? And you said, I give him a month. And I was like, oh my word.
I say, I will give him a month and then I will judge.
Okay.
How long? Sorry. That came across wrong.
I was like, my word, man. I'm not saying that. Like.
No. I think, we've seen it in the past. They've struggled with Ten Hag and they kept him for 2 seasons. So I mean,
yeah, and they did really foolish to keep him on for this season. But one second, I want to see what Man United's fixtures are coming up, because then we can analyse a little bit. We do talk a lot about Man United, but it's funny to hate watch And I'm sure, like myself, if you guys grew up just in football, you heard it large from Man United fans all the time, so it's lovely to give it back to them now. But so the next match in the Prem is against Everton. Then they've got Arsenal, Forest, City, and Tottenham.
I'm in danger.
I think genuinely with this,
yeah, that's why I told you a month, and then we'll decide what's happening. Even with Everton
just
could
under
be
a month. They can just sit 11 men behind the ball if they want to.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but then they've got.
I hope that they get relegated because I don't really like Everton.
It's Arsenal away for them too. At Old Trafford, Arsenal usually struggle, but at the Emirates, Arsenal do better. Then they've got City, who by that point, City should have. Well, no, they've got Forest. Sorry, first they've got Forest. They should maybe pick up those 3 points there.
Hopefully,
but if not, they've got City away, and by that point, City will have kicked back in. And sorry, Spurs in the League Cup. I take it back. Then they've got Bournemouth, who are still a decent team, Wolves, and then Newcastle, then Liverpool. So they've got a huge, difficult run here, which Amorim has to try and improve it somehow in. But as Amorim said, it's a decision making a lot of the time. Like Marcus Rashford would be there and he'd be holding up the ball instead of running in or trying to make the pass instead of holding up the ball for more people to join along. And they're running into cul-de-sacs left, right, and centre. They just get themselves stuck in a pit, lose the ball, and then they've got to suffer.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the difficulty for me, I think. Marcus Rashford scoring is a big positive because you want him to be confident, you want him to be happy. And he seemed happy after the first training match.
I don't really like Rashford. I don't know.
I think regardless if you like Rashford or not, he's proven that when he's happy and he's in form, he's a great player.
He can deliver. But
so that's my point with Rashford.
I still don't like him.
That's fine. You can not like him if you want to. One of those. I mean, I think Rashford will leave soon. I think they'll get rid of him.
Where would he go?
Anywhere.
China.
Nah, he'll go. He can go Italy. He can go Spain.
Italy? Nah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him in Italy. If Inter Milan buys him, I'll be very skeptical. But they don't need.
I don't think you guys understand the difference between the Italian league and the English league.
Well,
you say the Italian league's so much better now, but does Heinrich Mkhitaryan still play for you guys?
I didn't say that it's much better. I said it's competitive. The quality of the players, yes. The English,
you know what I mean? It's so much better.
But look at the Italian league at the moment. It's way more competitive than the English.
I disagree massively.
Look at this.
There's loads more teams challenging for the title. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, that's what
look
makes
at the Prem.
Good.
Look at the Prem. There's loads of teams battling in around close, right, to the top four. There's loads of teams battling for relegation. There's loads of teams mid-table battling out to see where they land. Everyone's so tight in those compact areas. The Prem is more entertaining.
I disagree.
Because you see matches like this weekend where Tottenham turn up after losing to Ipswich and it's 4-0. You see a new manager in Ruben Amorim go into an established club like Manchester United and he draws 1-1 after being 1-0 up in the second minute or something ridiculous. That's what it's about in football. In the Italian league, don't get me wrong, everyone's like, oh, yeah.
But have you actually ever watched the Italian league?
Yes.
You watch what match?
And after that, I will never watch another.
Like, how can you judge with what match? So imagine that I never watched the English league, and then I watched that Man United Ipswich game. Oh, that was boring. So I think I stick with the Italian league because
for me,
it's the exact same thing.
So the difference is, right, when a lot of people watch boring matches and they say it's a boring match, I don't always find it boring because if it's a defensive display, I'm then like, okay, this is enjoyable for me because obviously I do play defender, so I do appreciate that position. Sometimes more than other people, I would say, not to sound a bit weird. But when I watched that Italian match, the play was so slow. There was no pressing. There was no pressure. And this was an Inter Milan match, by the way, which I watched. There was no pressing, no play.
4 years ago when we were actually...
I don't think it was 4 years. I think it was like 2.
No, we were still in Chorley, so it was 3 years ago. Yes.
I was there 2 years ago. It would be 2 and a bit years. It was that season, I promise you.
No, I promise you it was 3 years ago. Well, anyway.
But I watched it, and they were up against Torino, and it was the most boring match I've ever seen in my life. It was so slow. There was no pressing from either team. That it wasn't even like the defenders were just doing a great job, or anyone was doing a great job. I just watched it and I was like, this is the most uninspired match of football I've ever watched. Like, genuinely, quality-wise, I could have went to a Sunday League team and seen more. Because there'd have been more fight, there'd have been more passion, there'd have been more pressing.
This podcast is about the Premier League, so we're not going to talk about the Serie A anymore.
That's true.
If you want any Serie A...
Giorgio's just begging. Begging.
Let me speak about my team.
But as far as the matches go, I think that's it for us and what we've covered.
Yeah.
We need to give a round of applause for the Ipswich match, though, and I know you're going to say, and I don't want to give him a round of applause, so I'm just going to stand here while you do it. It has to be a Mari Hutchinson.
Solidarity. We are just going to give a silent round of applause to Hutchinson.
I'm not giving him anything.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast episode. And we appreciate your support. Remember to like the video, subscribe, share it with everybody.
Follow Instagram, do everything.
Yes, we really do appreciate your support. We hope to get to 50 subscribers by the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be lovely if we could get to 50. Obviously, as Jojo mentioned, share it with your mates, all that sort of stuff. If you feel like someone might enjoy it, definitely do. Just go with that. Obviously, we're a bit more festive, a bit more wintry. And I'm more festive than you.
I need to buy a Christmas jumper. Oh, actually, question for you guys: is this jumper Christmassy or autumnal?
It's wintry, but I wouldn't say it's festive.
You made the comment that this looked autumnal rather than
I didn't say
winter.
that.
Yes.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I've never said autumnal as a word because I don't think it's a word.
Autumnal.
I don't think
autumnal. It means that it's something that you wear
during. I know what you're trying to have it to mean.
Called autumn.
I know what you're trying to make it mean. I just have never heard that word used ever in my life, so I don't know if it's real or not. That's why I would have never used that word, which already proves Giorgio's theory wrong. You don't have a big
vocabulary anyway, so...
I have a bigger vocabulary than you.
2
languages! I know what you're going to say already.
Autumnal.
See, Giorgio came on smoke. If you watch the podcast, you'll see that Giorgio often likes the words I come out with.
Yeah. Characteristic of or recurring in autumn.
Oh, wow. It's a real word. I've just never heard it. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
But that shows that I didn't say it. I just said it wasn't Christmassy. There's a huge difference. Because you can still have a wintry coat, but it doesn't mean it's Christmassy.
On that note, thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your week.
Goodbye.